elemental and catalytic anima stones. Are they any good? Let's find out. Whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you like my Runescape content and want to stay updated with the recent news, be sure to subscribe. Anima stones are consumable runecrafting items obtained from thieving druids and crux econ knights in the Garden of Kharid. With a high-level thieving setup, you should expect to gain around 2,000 elemental anima stones per hour and around 200 or more catalytic anima stones, being the more valuable one. In the future, these items will be available through other means and no longer exclusive to just this thieving method, but currently, they're the only way of obtaining these anima stones. These anima stones provide a +2 rune multiplier to either the elemental runes or with the catalytic version every single other rune in the game except combination runes. Per essence you use, 1 anima stone is consumed with the exception of the soul altar, which we'll be getting to in just a minute. No additional experience is provided by using anima stones, but you do make more runes. The rune multiplier is not doubled by the power burst of sorcery and is added after the power burst of sorcery if you're using that potion to double your runes per essence. Let's say your rune multiplier is 5 times. With a power burst of sorcery, that would go up to 10 times the amount of runes per essence. By using anima stones, your multiplier doesn't go from 5 to +2 to 7 and then doubled into 14 using a power burst of sorcery. Instead, your power burst of sorcery doubles your base multiplier from 5 to 10, and then you get an additional 2 at the end, so it's 12 times the amount of runes. The soul altar works a little bit differently. As you might know, it takes 400 pure essence to get 100 charges, which will allow you to make approximately 240 soul runes. Because the tooltip of the item says you use 1 catalytic fragment per soul rune, you'd expect to use 400 of them every single time you fully charge the soul altar and craft your soul runes, but that isn't the case. So do you use 100 of them every time you fully charge the altar, because 100 charges might equal 100 catalytic anima stones? Nope, that's right everyone, grab your pitchforks because it's time to cancel Jagex on Reddit. In all seriousness though, I was using about 78 to 84 of these catalytic anima stones per full charge at the soul altar, which isn't anywhere near 400. So when should you be using these anima stones? Well, because they work the way they do, it's easy to find out if they are worth using for profit, as each anima stone should cost you less than the value of 2 runes you're crafting, otherwise you're making a loss. The table on screen shows you which runes are currently profitable and which ones are not when using anima stones, and as you can clearly see, Armored Blood and Soul runes are very profitable when using these anima stones. Now let's take Blood runes as an example. 218 GP profit per anima stone doesn't sound like much, but consider that you're using 98 of them per run with a maxed out setup, Ever Infinity outfit, Abyssal Titan, all 5 pouches, a power burst of sorcery, and those catalytic anima stones in your inventory. You have a total of 98 pure essence per run, which equates to about 21,000 GP per run extra, which is kind of nice, and that eventually equates to about 1.3 million GP per hour more, rounded up. This does assume that you get 60-second Abyss runs, which is very achievable using bank presets and the Nexus mod Archaeology relic power, which sends you to the center of the Abyss when teleporting through the wizard. Water runes, similarly to Blood runes, are very positively affected, and you'd be getting around 870k GP per hour more when using elemental anima stones. Now, while the profit per rune is higher when doing soul runes, you craft far less runes per hour, and therefore the profit per hour you gain is lower but still significant at around 500 to 550k GP per hour more. Speaking of soul runes, well, they just became even better. The soul altar was already the best method of obtaining soul runes since the buff 7 months back, and now should provide you with about 37% more runes per hour, so around 3,145 soul runes per hour if you could do a full charge run in about 12 minutes. I was able to do this quite comfortably using my Wicked Hood teleport charges, and then for the final run going through the Abyss, and then crafting the runes. Now before we end off the video, I'd like to mention how many of these you use per hour. If you're using the catalytic anima stones at the soul altar, you'll probably use about 410 of them per hour. That's how many I used, which equates to about 2 hours of thieving if you're an ironman. In case you're doing blood runes or water runes, well, if you're using 90 essence per run, a run is 60 seconds, you'll be using 5,580 of them per hour, which equates to about 30 hours of thieving. And that's with a high level setup too. I'm sure once there are other means of obtaining these anima stones, it won't be as bad for Iron Man, but until then, that's just the way it's going to be. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting. If you did, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.